Good Morning Blues is underwritten by Atlanta Center for Cognitive Therapy. Cognitive therapy is a model of treatment for emotional problems occurring in individuals and relationships. The center's psychologists primarily offer telehealth psychotherapy services online with your computer, tablet, or cell phone. For more information, 404-842-0555. That's 404-842-0555 or cognitiveatlanta.com.
Funding for this program is brought to you in part by listeners like you and the following sponsors. The Sounds of Atlanta Jazz Fest 2023 have returned, including performances from renowned jazz artists and a variety of vendors. The Atlanta Jazz Fest has been entertaining audiences for more than 2 decades, an annual celebration of music, culture, and art. Consisting of 3 days of live jazz, Saturday, May 27th, Sunday, May 28th, and culminating on Monday, May 29th, Memorial Day, with an outdoor festival featuring jazz artists from all over the world. The mission of the Atlanta Jazz Festival is to expose and entertain a diverse audience of jazz aficionados, young jazz enthusiasts, and aspiring musicians to the rich heritage and variety of jazz as an authentic form of American music. Your station for progressive information and handpicked quality music will be present with your favorite jazz and other station airshifters attending and vending our WRFG table. For more information, the website is atljjazzfest.com. Atlanta Jazz Festival is produced by the City of Atlanta Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs.
WRFG Atlanta, now celebrating our 50th year as your independent community radio station for progressive information and hand-picked quality music. Since 1973, WRFG has provided a voice for those who have been traditionally denied open access to the broadcast media through the involvement of a broad base of community elements to guarantee that access. In the utilization of the station's facilities and its programs, the following communities will receive first priority: those who continue to be denied free and open access to the broadcast media, those who suffer oppression or exploitation based upon class, race, sex, age, creed, sexual orientation, disability, or immigrant status. How about helping us celebrate our milestone 50th year on the air by making your contribution now at wrfg.org.
Bob. Good morning, Blues. WRFG Atlanta.
Good morning, Blues. We'll brighten up your day as you put on your shoes. Yeah, yeah. You know it's got to be the way to wake up each and every day on WRFG in Atlanta. Good morning, Blues.
Good morning, Blues.
Good morning, Blues. This is Tony O'Malley on WRFG Atlanta.
Greetings and welcome to Good Morning Blues Part 2. Let's see, Memorial Day is coming up. This is the last Thursday of the month. I've got all kinds of blues and jazz and groovy, soulful, funky stuff, old and new. Probably more new than old, actually. Some birthdays to celebrate and some losses to celebrate. But we'll start off positive and we'll have to share the negative bits as they find themselves in the music, which I always feel is the best way. Just drop it in, not to crash anyone's party, but or to start out that way. So why don't we kick off with a chap that would be 112 this week.
This is a song was sung back in 1892. a terrible flood that year. People lost everything they had. Their crops, their livestock. That means their horses, their mules, the cows, the goats, and everything they had on their farm. And they would all start crying and singing this song. They tell me Joe Turner been here and gone. Lord, they tell me Joe Turner been here and gone. They tell me Joe Turner been here and gone. And they would go out hunting for rabbits, coons, and possums, anything they could catch. Sometimes they would catch something, and again they didn't. Then they would come home and they would find flour and meat, molasses, in their homes, and they know that Joe Turner had been there and left food for them. And they would start crying and singing this song.
Come on, little baby, hide and go seek with me. Come on, little baby, hide and go seek with me. Play the game where you ought to be. I spy enemy now. I'm gonna give you sweetie pie, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, have me fun tonight. shoes, dungaree, red jacket, shirt. If you please, my boogie woogie, boogie woogie, boogie woogie country girl. Well, I mean, what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. Now you dig that music with the beat rockin' rollin'. Is the meat my boogie woogie, boogie woogie, boogie woogie country girl. Well, I mean, what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. On Saturday night she comes down, she played the jukebox and let her hair on down. My boogie woogie, boogie woogie, boogie woogie country girl. Well, I mean, what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. And roll! Cherry, she can milk a cow. Don't like squares, cause daddy taught her how. Boogie woogie, boogie woogie, boogie woogie country girl. What I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. She's up every morning about 5:30. She lets you go fishing cause it keeps you alive. A boogie woogie, boogie woogie, boogie woogie country girl. Well, I mean, what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. Hang around, dig my baby, cause she really goes to town. My boogie woogie, boogie woogie, boogie woogie country girl. Well, you dig what I mean, my boogie woogie country girl. Yeah, swinging band, I like a good rocking band. Yeah, my knees start to knocking, and I love to start to rocking. Yeah, my boogie, boogie woogie country girl. Early in the muted. Yeah, turn me on. Hold me in your arms. Boogie, 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 country girl. Go ahead, man. Yeah, rock it. That is what I need.
HIV infections, yet heterosexual black men are the least accounted for or represented demographic when it comes to HIV testing, treatment, retention, and care or data. If we want to end the epidemic, we have to include everyone and all come together for the highest good. When HIV is undetectable, it is also untransmittable. At-home HIV testing is available at GACAPUS.com, GACAPUS.com. Treatment will also decrease your chances of passing the virus to others, including your spouse or partner. And there are ways to protect yourself from contracting HIV too. Unity does not require uniformity. This is another public service announcement brought to you by the Reginald and Dion Smith Foundation and your listener-sponsored and supported Community Radio 89.3 FM, WRFG.org, your station for progressive information and hand-picked quality music.
Many of you recognize the great Big Joe Turner there. Started out with one I hadn't heard before, a interesting, well, perfectly preserved Big Bill Broonzy on guitar while Big Joe tells a blues story called JT Blues. So there you go. The version of Hide and Seek you heard is a second live, well, the second version, but was also done live in 1966, and then finished up with Boogie Woogie Country Girl. Somehow country made me think of this next song. Not one for playing country music, bluegrass music, stuff like that. There was something about this that stuck home. One of the things that happens when you move house or age, and probably one or two other reasons, your circle of friends gets smaller. And there are people that you lose and you don't know why. And I've got a few of those the last few years. I've got some from 20 years ago that I don't notice so much. But I would say the more recent 4 or 5 years, there are people that I don't seem to be friends with anymore for a variety of reasons. But anyway, this song is about that, followed by the opposite, a song from a new artist I don't know, celebrating old friends. So if that's been playing on your mind, then mix these two together and get some happy out of it. That's all I can say.
All right, you got it. This song is about our second-born child, who's better looking and more intelligent. His name is Gibby. He's got bright red hair. And when I wrote this song, he was only about 3 feet tall, so he'll forever be a little short man. Goes like this. Growing up as a carrot top ain't never hurt nobody. You just got a little more sun in your hair. Coming up as the middle one ain't never been easy. But there ain't no lack of love on old St. Pete, yeah. We got cars and trains and airplanes and super bad Spider-Man. Take the fact on top of that, I love ya. Has anybody here seen my boy? He answers the Gibby, stands 3 foot tall. If it's stuffing he's needing, tell him he can have my own. Just come on. Ain't no bones about it when life gets crowded, come on. All right now, young man. He's got a smile so bright, light up the night sky. Fine just to hang around wherever he roam. Rhythm and blues, he sure got the groove, yes. And you ought to see him move to go, Johnny, go. He could string on a rope by telling a joke about things you know all too well. He's the son of a gun, my middle one, I love him so. Has anybody here seen my boy? He answers the Gibby, stands 3 foot tall. If it's loving he's needing, tell him he can have my own. Just come on. Any situation don't need no reservation, come on. Yes. All right now, young man. He could swing on a rope while telling a joke about things you know all too well. He's the son of a gun, my middle one, I love him so. Is anybody here seen my boy? He answers the Gibby, stands 3 foot tall. If it's loving he's needing, tell him he can have my own. Just come home. Any situation don't need no reservation, come on. Come home, yes. Come home. Yeah, 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 yes.
What's going on, y'all? This is Mark BROUSSARD, and you're listening to WRFG Atlanta, London to Louisiana. Don't be eating them green bananas. Let the kids believe in Santa.
Mark BROUSSARD there with a live thing that just popped out, Gibby's song about his son, which I thought was just a cool acoustic thing off the cuff. We're going to head down to find some blues ladies. There aren't enough of them, so I'm always glad to dig some out. 4 songs, 2 are new lady artists that I didn't know, maybe you don't either. But the first one, there's somebody that's not with us anymore, and you will know, but there's a very old 60s album got remastered, cleaned up, and just been put out again with an extra track. And it's an instrumental because she wasn't just a singer.
Could've had religion, could've kept my man, could've made some dollars and made some plans. Oh, but I traded it all for that rock and roll. Oh Lord, oh, please help me, I got a gypsy soul. Seen a lot of faces, been a lot of places. My feet keep running, you can't hold me down. Had a lot of lovers, even met a few mothers, but I always keep on moving to the next town. Oh, my one true love is that rock and roll. Oh Lord, oh, please help me, I got a gypsy soul.
carry me to my grave. Born on the best side. I've been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no kind of luck. If it wasn't for real bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. No. Talking about bad luck, I've been having bad luck all of my days.
So the song we began with was Nina Simone doing a piano instrumental called African Mailman. And that album just got put out the last few weeks, remastered from a long, long time ago with that additional instrumental track. So that was a surprise. After her, Jennifer Lynn, someone I hadn't heard before, on her album Gypsy Soul, played the title track and Give Me All of Your Loving. And finally, Lady J. Houston, or could be Houston, depends whether you're in Scotland or Texas, and her version of Born Under a Bad Sign. Got the ladies out the way. Got a couple of obscure songs, an act I've seen and an act I want to see. And we're going to push away these couple of oddities. They won't connect to anything, while we later then celebrate the passing of a tremendous British artist.
Good morning, Blues. This is Tam White, Chief of the Clan MacGregor, Braveheart style. Speaking from the Athens of the North, Edinburgh, Scotland's festival city. Gonna leave you in the good hands of UK Bob, WRFG Atlanta. This is Tam White speaking. Long may your lum reek.
Make your mama sick digging for the wick buried in the Buzzy Brenston ride. Pretty white and clean foam on the screen, shimmy to an imitated cry. So you can close your eyes and feel the way I do. But you better get wise to the death of the hoochie coo. See, this is fine and wine, bring me to the vinyl, oh, see the replanting. Bottle up the sound, sell it by the pound, tell the kiddies it's a hot new thing. So you can close your eyes and feel the way I do. You better get wise to the death of the hoochie coo. You can close your eyes, but you better get wise to hoochie coo, death of the hoochie coo, yeah, hoochie coo. So you can close your eyes and feel the way I do. But you better get wise to the depth of the hoochie coo. You can close your eyes, but you better get wise to hoochie coo, death of the hoochie coo, hoochie coo, hoochie coo,
poles, mountain forests burn, and this air I cannot breathe. But I tell you it ain't so. And I tell you it's a lie. I'll keep you in the daydream if you like. So turn a blind eye, head in the clouds, set in your ways, don't bring me down. What road would you leave the future's gone? How about a world worth fighting for? Sweeping schemes, mountain tops, two young strangers are falling in love. So full of hope, streets to unfold. Ain't that a world worth fighting for? A world worth fighting for. A world worth fighting for. Mercy, please, a world brought to its knees, and greed trumps sanity. We'll all be historic. I tell you it ain't so. Yeah, I tell you it's a lie. Alright, keep you in the daydream if you like. So turn a blind eye, head in the clouds, set in your ways, don't bring me down. What road would you leave the future's gone? How about a world worth fighting for? Sweeping schemes, mountain tops, two young strangers are falling in love. So full of hope, streets to unfold. Ain't that a world worth fighting for? Kids in the park, smiles on their faces, family and friends, love and embrace. Sad that you feel when the winds hit the shore. Sounds like a world worth fighting for. No magic cars, no magic ball. Hail the rise on the wall. What road would you leave the future to score? How about a world worth fighting for?
WRFG will be hosting our 50th anniversary concert at the Rialto Center for the Arts. Since our first broadcast in 1973, WRFG has remained mission-based and volunteer-driven, being of service to the Atlanta area, providing progressive information and eclectic music from around the world. This year, we are celebrating our birthday with a live concert featuring performances by independent artists from right here in Atlanta. Performers include Julie Dexter, Ruby Vale, and Masiki Scales and the Common Ground Collective. The event will begin at 4 p.m., with doors opening for the concert at 5 p.m. So come out and join our airshifters, staff, and volunteers as WRFG 89.3 FM celebrates 50 years of independent community broadcasting in Atlanta. Once again, that's Saturday, July 15th from 4 to 8:30 p.m. at the Rialto Center for the Arts, located at 80 Forsyth Street, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia. The event is MARTA and ADA accessible, along with nearby parking on the street and discounted parking from the 100 Peachtree Street Garage. Tickets are on sale now and range in price from $15 to $35. For ticket information, visit WRFG.org. For more information and sponsorship opportunities, please email office@WRFG.org.
On Saturday, May 27th, the Connie Tucker Legacy Foundation will hold its second annual fundraiser, the Africa Ma'afa Remembrance Festival, from 12:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the Auburn Avenue African American Research Library on 101 Auburn Avenue and the Apex Museum on 135 Auburn Avenue from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Vendors will be at the Apex all day. There will be panels on healing from the post-traumatic slavery disorder and how it affects Black people today, reparations, music, and hip-hop as a tool for liberation, building bridges with Africa and the diaspora, no more violence, reclaiming our greatness, investing in Africa, repatriation to Africa, Mother Earth, and environmental justice, holistic healing, you are what you eat, speakers, entertainment, music, food, African drumming, dancing, homage of the ancestors, and more. 470-428-6050 or www.connietuckerlegacy.org. Saturday, May 27th.
This has been another public service announcement from your station for progressive information, celebrating 50 years of broadcasting. WRFG 89.3 FM, WRFG.org.
That was the crazy Aussie keyboard player with the Whamma Jamma bar that I've been playing a lot for probably 7 or 8 years. LACHY DOLEY. And a song about climate change called A World Worth Fighting For. Prior to that, my new favourite act that I was playing back in, I guess it was March, Sergeant Splendor, which is Eric McFadden and Miss Vargas. And then I ended up seeing them down in Jazz Fest, which was kind of cool. Eric joined in with my buddy Eddie Roberts and his new band. So it was jammed tight. The little small room at Howlin' Wolf, the basement bar area, probably 40-foot square with 175 people squeezed in there. It was 90 degrees, but quite a night. I need to pay tribute today to a chap that had a huge impact on the British music scene in so many different directions, from theatre to music to film to poetry to just collaborating in so many avenues for 8 decades. Pete Brown died Saturday morning at 82, and bit of a surprise. I know he'd not been well, but I thought he might make it through the rest of the year and I get to see him again in September. I've spent little time with him 3 times in the last, I would say 15 years. And the last time, a year ago, he and I went out to eat near his house in Hastings, just down to the pub. Then we went off to a gig which he sang at, and then went back to his house till 2 a.m, where I recorded an interview which I've not been able to get off my portable micro-track equipment. Unfortunately, when I got back, I got sick with shingles for 5 months, and you know how things get buried. So I'm going to have to get some help to retrieve this very valuable documentary, I guess, because we were talking a lot about the collaboration on the Cream Acoustic sessions. And we're talking about some very serious big names. So anyway, hopefully I'll be able to pull that off. Meanwhile, I know that you're going to say, Bob, we're not entirely sure. We know a bit about Pete Brown because didn't he write a lot of the Cream hit songs? Yes, he did. And we'll cover his bio in more detail next.
It's getting near dawn when lights close the tired eyes. I'll soon be with you, my love. Give you my dawn surprise. I'll be with you, darling, soon. I'll be with you when the stars start falling. unused crowd. I can drive down the road my eyes don't see, but my mind wants to cry out loud. Near the station, black roof country, no gold pavement, tired starlings, silver horses ran down moonbeams in your dark eye. Dawnlight smile on you leaving my contentment.
Apart from being a nice guy who made a great cup of tea and enjoyed it, Pete Brown was a lot of things. And I guess as you've heard some music that you could relate to, I'll tell you more. He was a beat poet, got famous in the late 50s. He was an author, wrote several great books, a musician, filmmaker, songwriter, a lot of things. But he started back as a beat poet. And by the mid-60s, he'd sold out the Albert Hall with both his British and American contemporaries, including Allen Ginsberg, Michael Horowitz, and lots of other things going on. His poetry was published quite a bit, right up to recent collections of 2016. So anyway, his contribution to pop culture was quite tremendous in so many different things, from writing songs, just to being always on the buzz, always on the scene. He continued with Jack Bruce for 45 years after the breakup of Cream, which was 68. Folk song and theme for an imaginary Western. He had his own bands, PIBLOKTO, the Battered Ornaments, Bond and Brown with Graham Bond and Dick Hextall Smith, the Interocitors and Soul Cordelia. A long partnership with his big pal Phil Ryan, who's a composer and keyboard player. Just so many different things that he got up to. The Cream Acoustic Sessions, which is a documentary on the reworking of the Cream songs, he collaborated on all of that with Ginger and Malcolm Bruce, Jack's son, as well as many other guest stars like Joe Bonamassa and Bobby Rush. The accompanying album, Heavenly Cream, is due for release later this year. That's what he and I were talking about in the interview. He would say things like, I come from a long line of warriors, not warriors. It was such a lovely guy. You could sit on the couch and talk to him about anything. It was one of his favorite expressions. He had one that was, that's life, up 1 minute, down the next 25 years. Anyway, I'm sad that I don't get to see him again. I think he had a huge family of cats. We sat in this giant kitchen in his house, and he loved them all. And they all related. They called when he came. It was really funny. Anyway, I feel sorry for his wife Sheridan, his daughter, who is a singer and writer, Jessica Walker, and his musician and restaurateur son, Tad, who was there, came through the kitchen at 1 a.m. while we were talking. He'd closed up the restaurant. So I guess that's me closing up the life of the great Pete Brown.
Among the jazz musicians that I got to know were Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker, and they knew I was by the time it got to 1965 and we did the Albert Hall thing with Ginsberg and Ferlinghetti and all those people, then I was reasonably well known on the sort of cultural beat, whatever you like to call it, scene. And everyone knew that I loved music and was a big fan. And so that was when Ginger got in touch and said, hey, we've formed this band called Cream. Do you want to come and help us out with some lyrics? You know, we think it might be a good idea. So that was another great big jump. After the Albert Hall, I was in regular work for the first time in my life, probably. I had gone deliberately professional because I realized, well, I felt that I didn't want to do anything else but perform and write. So I abandoned all other forms of support in about 1960. Got the occasional job, I mean, casual job, including helping build the Indica bookshop with Paul McCartney, because Barry Miles was a friend of mine and he asked me to help. And the last known job that I had, I think, was as an assistant chef in a bistro in Chalk Farm, which was ahead of its time and became a laundrette.
She came downtown to West 14. The life she'd been leading before it had been in Leeds. She turned on to the Baron's Court scene. And everything she wore on her sleeve. Now Jean had plenty on the front, and John had plenty on the side. And it wasn't very long before they both realized they'd been taking each other for a ride. Where my sunshades, call on my fun shades. Where my sunshades, Jean, things won't be as dark as they seem. then it vanished in the smoke. That holy smoke. You know it really ain't no joke. You can smell it on my coat. I think I'm going broke. Big golden coach with pretty white horses, taking me home to 54 courses. Having a ball, you are all invited. Champagne on my brain, really excited. And then they all
Hey everybody,
vanished.
this is Peter Karp. And when I die, I want to come back as a dolphin. But if I can't come back as a dolphin, I want to come back as UK Bob, the best blues man I know. Snappy dresser, good looking man, knows his music, and plays it on WRFG Atlanta. Good morning blues. I say good morning blues. Good morning blues. Play 'em, Bob.